Hey guys, Captain Foley here. I'm starting this one a little bit early, like a minute or two early. Hope that's okay. Let's see here. Let me pull up the chat here on my iPad so that I can keep track of things. How is everybody tonight? Hope you are doing well, and thank you for joining me, as I said, um, to talk about episode 5 of Picard, Stardust City Rag. Stardust City Point part I get, but the reg part, I just admit I don't get it. So, all right. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming, and appreciate you guys showing up. By all means, put in your thoughts, comments, whatever, super chat them. Help out the channel. You can also join the channel down below and get your either commander, captain, or admiral rank. And I highly recommend doing that because it annoys Samuel when people are the same rank as him right off the hop. And commander is the lowest rank you can get. There's also then captain, so you can be the same rank as me, or admiral, and you can outrank both Samuel and myself. But not Admiral Sylvia. You can't outrank her. Anyway, guys, welcome. Joseph Barbado is first off with the first super chat of $2. Poor Icheb. That was rough and hard to watch. It was. I didn't even realize it was Icheb um, the first time around until about halfway through the episode where they mentioned him again. Then watching it again, she did say Icheb at the beginning there. It was really rough to watch, and I gotta say, for this episode, this is my least favorite of all the episodes so far. I've seen a lot of hate for this episode online. I've seen a lot of love for this episode online. It seems to be one of those polarizing ones. You either love it or you hate it. For me, it had a few small moments of awesomeness, a few good moments, and then the rest was just all one long, boring, you know, stretch of the same information being spewed over and over again. It just didn't really work for me as an episode. In my opinion, this one would have worked better. The 7 and 9 aspect and the Maddox thing all together in one could have made a perfect short trek. A good 15-minute short trek. It would have been fine. There was no cutting between this and what's going on in the Borg Cube with Soji, so I thought that was a little bit. It went against it, in my opinion. But you know, it just could have been better. This one is one that I just, and I've seen it 5 times now, as is the way I usually see it about 4 or 5 times before these live reviews. So, Fat Produce though puts in $5. So the flashback opening for this episode made me ask, Star Trek Hellraiser now, aka Hellraiser Hostile Saw. A little bit. The Seven Domes is interesting. That was mentioned, and also when Raffi's son was saying, "Tell me about Mars," about the synths didn't do it, and the Council of the Eight or whatever. I don't have the exact quote here. I'll have it tomorrow when we do our full review, but that interests me as well. So I don't know what is up with that specifically. And a lot of great little references and Easter eggs in this. So a lot of people are praising that. A lot of people are hating this episode or loving it. And I'm kind of in the middle. I really disliked it the first time I watched it. Second time I enjoyed it a bit more. Now it's kind of equaled out for me, and it's just kind of it's neither here nor there for me. But like I said, there's a lot of great references, cameos. Well, not really cameos, but like Easter eggs references that were really well done. So kudos to them. Doug Van Dorn puts in $5. Rest in peace, Icheb. By the way, I noticed the bar staff beamed out of Dodge when Seven beamed back in. Why didn't, what's her name, Jay avoiding death? Interesting, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, first of all, where are they going? Second of all, is this because they work there, they're employees, that's like a safeguard measure to get them out of there? I'm not exactly sure if that's the case. Ooh, don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, zoom in a little bit, tighten it in. So I don't know where they went or what the situation was. Not everybody beamed out. A lot of people ran, so that was pretty interesting. And yeah, why she didn't beam out, I don't know. I just don't know. Mark Lawrence puts in $10. Thank you very much, Mark. I'll just say I was pissed at who they killed off in the flashback. Yes, and the fact they didn't, it wasn't Manu Intereme, the actor that played Icheb, who I know has been posting on social media and stuff in the lead up to this, saying, you know, hey, I'm here if you need me to play Icheb, which I thought would be great. I thought, yeah, Icheb could definitely be worked into season 2. Something could be done with that, and nope, they just decided to say screw it and kill his character off with another actor. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to get more Icheb. Honestly, there could be flashbacks of even 7 of 9 and Icheb, or Icheb just getting in this tangle. Although the story's kind of closed at the end of this, I can't see that happening. But I mean, it's always a distinct possibility. I love how 7 said that. I forget the girl's name. I really like her name though. Jibel. Anyway, I don't have it written down in front of me, unfortunately. But how, because of her friendship with 7, that's how she knew about Icheb. So 7 really blames herself for this. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. But did Raffi's son marry a Vulcan or a Romulan? I would assume it's a Romulan, because when she walks out, she's smiling, and she's also got like the Romulan hairstyle, and she does have some ridges, so I would think she's a Romulan. DXT069, I'm so mad they killed off Icheb. His character didn't deserve such a terribly awful death. Absolutely, he did not. Makes me wonder if there's any kind of behind-the-scenes drama with CBS and Manu and Tereme, that they decided not to bring him back for it, and to kill his character so that he can't be in it. Bajazel, that's it. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Yeah, it's a cool name. It really is. Zeraxis says, evening, folks. Evening. Jeff Jacobs, $2, 54 likes. Thanks again. Thanks so much. Again at 100. Hashtag make Jeff pay. That's right, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that you get those likes up and make Jeff pay for the likes. It's something he voluntarily does. So I mean, if you know, more power to him. But let's stick it to him and let's get those likes up. Let's see. We've got 194 people watching. Wow, that is incredible. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. Let me know your thoughts. And like I said, if you join the channel, it's a great way to be seen, because your name comes up in a different color and you get the little badge beside your name. So I'll be reading out people that have joined the channel, comments, as well as super chats. I will get to other comments if I can. They fly by pretty quick. And you know, I pick up the odd interesting one, but if you really want to make sure your thing is read online or on the air, make sure that you send a super chat. It's the best way to do it. Mark Lawrence says, I'm now rooting for NBC Universal taking over Star Trek even more now. I don't even think that's a real thing. I think that is a contrived storyline. I don't think that they would ever try buying it, and CBS would definitely never sell it. So I can't see that being a legit option at this point. I could be wrong, but you never know. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $1.99. Mott's Hair Emporium and Quark's name drop. Hell yeah. And not only a Quark name drop, but when they first show the city and they go down, you actually see Quark's bar. It's got a big Quark's and then bar. It looks almost like it's franchised now, which wouldn't be beyond the realm of believability. I love how they did mention Quark of Ferenginar and his trouble with the Breen. So that was a nice little reference as well. And of course, Icheb, and even a little bit twang of some Voyager music, which somebody called out and said it was like, oh, they got goosebumps. And I'm like, I watched this 4 times and I never noticed it. On the 5th time I was watching for it, didn't notice it, rewound to the scene, and there's a little bit of it. So there is that little bit of Voyager musical nods as well. So don't know if anybody else caught that, but it was a nice little touch, but it was very little, unfortunately. Now going to the Maddox character, Maddox was not played by the same actor. I've heard people saying, is that the same actor? It looks like it's an older version of the same actor. It's not. The actor that played Maddox originally hasn't done a lot of acting. If you check his IMDb, there's not a lot of acting credits. He's actually right now, I think he's the head person of a musical academy or something like that. So I'm not sure if he was approached and didn't want to come back in, or he's just like, I'm not doing acting anymore. So I don't know the situation there, but the guy that played Maddox I think was a good casting choice. I just wish we would have seen more of him. And again, he's somebody else that we're probably going to see in flashbacks and in future episodes, talking about not only his relationship with Girardi, but also his relationship with Soji and Dodge and the creation of them, and possibly even some data or lore references I think will be included in flashbacks with him. So we might see that actor more, but it was a bit of a shame with what happened with that. Dr. Ron Lolsk, sorry, $5. His actor tweeted stupid. His actor, Echebs, which would be Manu, tweeted stupid things after Rapp accused Kevin Spacey. So after Anthony Rapp accused Kevin Spacey, okay, I didn't know any of that. I wasn't aware of that. That might have done it. That might have been a possibility. Sure. So thank you. I didn't know that. But E. Paris says, next to the word bar, it said, what is yours is mine. Sounds very Quark. Probably a franchise. Yeah. I honestly, in the nightclub, I expected to see Andorians. I expected to see some Ferengi, at least. Didn't see that. We saw a lot of humans, essentially, with like paint on their eyes and wings. The odd alien. I gotta admit, the reptiloid, the guy that could smell a lie, very interesting character, very well done. Kind of had a Dick Tracy like villain vibe though, so that bugged me a little bit. But overall, it was fine. You know, he can smell a lie. He can smell what you had for breakfast, and who you last had sex with, assuming they're not the same. Yeah. I thought Maddox looks like Negan from The Walking Dead, kind of a little bit. And how much did that woman villain look like first season TNG? The costume, yeah, I thought the same thing. The costume seemed remarkably underdone. And I recognized the actress. She was actually in, I believe it's CSI, NCIS New Orleans. So that's great. And another person that I recognized was Rafi's son. I was bugging me because I was watching him going, he looks really familiar. Who the hell is that? So I looked it up. Turns out that he is Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. So there you go. Not somebody I remember seeing. Just he has, you know, he looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. Looks like his dad. So there you go. What species was that reptiloid? Oh, they say it they say it, Antikin, something like that. Like I said, I have all those notes downstairs. It'll be ready for our review tomorrow. Free Clouds seem like a hellish version of DS9 on water. Another interesting thing was the targeted ads that came at them. The Red Bullion, I love that for like a mechanic shop. Come to the Red Bullion. It seems like a marketing gimmick or like a mascot for this bullion, you know, ship thing. We also got the ship. The ship model number and build, essentially, which again, have written down downstairs, so I don't recall it offhand, but so that was great. Targeted ads at Picard, come join us for tea, essentially, at this hotel. Picard's like, no. Girardi gets the punching robot, come and join us at the Robot Fighting Academy, which I didn't get, but she's an AI specialist, or, you know, so that does make perfect sense after you think about it. And then poor Eleanor, who's like, I didn't get anything. I thought that was kind of funny, but Michael Parker, $5. In your last episode, I asked about the possibility of Quark on Free Cloud. Hopefully we'll get a Morn cameo. Yeah, it would be nice. I don't think we will, but it would be cool. And you did mention, somebody mentioned, it'd be cool to see Quark or whatever, and to have Quark's bar. I thought was a nice touch. So absolutely. This episode felt like Mass Effect or Babylon 5. Very much. It didn't have a Star Trek feel to it at all. Like I said, there were a few fun moments, especially with Rios and Picard. Um, on the contrary, I think I look. What did he say? Anyway, it was hilarious. Again, I have it written downstairs. I will talk about it in our full review, which will be out tomorrow, plus our live at 5 o'clock. That covers everything. Yeah, Ozzy said makes a point here. Come to the snake pit to get the snake leaf because she smokes snake leaf. And that's the other thing that bothered me. Her whole thing with her son could have been cut out for me. Didn't care. Didn't go anywhere. Sure, it introduced her son. Might become important later, but the fact that she says, "Oh, I'm clean now. I've cleaned up," it feels disingenuous because we haven't heard anything about her cleaning up. She was smoking the snake leaf or vaping it, whatever, when she was talking to Picard at her place. So a little bit of time has passed, but it doesn't seem like very much, first of all. And second of all, there was no like, oh yeah, I'm going to stop that. I know that she's now on the ship, so I assumed she wasn't doing it because she just didn't have any. Somebody had mentioned that maybe she wanted to go to Free Cloud because she actually wanted to get more snake leaf or something like that previous, which was interesting. Turned out that wasn't the case. But her going to see her son was an interesting twist. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't add to the story. It could have definitely been cut out and not been in. It wouldn't have affected anything really. Then again, that being said, I think it's going to play a larger part in future episodes. There's going to be references, of course, to it and things. So might be interesting. Might be. But as of right now, like I said, this whole episode really could have been condensed, and it could have been like literally could have been a 15-minute short trek, and that would have been fine. It just felt a little stretched out for me. Uh, but that being said, there were some interesting character moments. You got to see Picard acting and having some fun with the French accent and whatever. So that was nice. Um, Rios, again, I just love the character. I think he's awesome. So Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99. Eleanor was basically comic relief this episode. Yes, he didn't really serve much of a point. I'm not sure if he's going to serve much of a point in future episodes either. um, it's going to be one of those save the day kind of things with him, I think. Jarzia throws in $2, so thank you very much, Jarzia. Honestly, I felt Raffi actually grew this episode. To a certain degree, yes. I still don't like her character, though. There's a lot about that character I don't like, and never felt like she's somebody that I'm going to like. And maybe there's a little bit of resistance there on my part to actually start liking the character, but I've seen nothing that makes me want the redemption from her, or like for me to be proven wrong and like her. It was very interesting the fact that her son said, "So you've changed now, huh? Is that it? So tell me about Mars. What about the synth? That the synth didn't do it, and the conspiracy and the whatever." And that was more important than Dad and I. Again, I think we're going to get a flashback of Raffi still in Starfleet, possibly after Picard's resignation, where she's still in Starfleet, hasn't been kicked out yet. I know she got called into the CNC office in the other episode. I understand that, but I don't think that's how Starfleet would work. Just because Admiral Picard put in a resignation doesn't mean they're just going to automatically fire Raffi for some reason. So we might see flashbacks of him as a kid, and even Raffi's husband and her obsession with this, proving that the synths didn't do it. That might be cool. And the fact too that Maddox even later says, why, when Picard asks, why did you send Soji to the artifact? Why did you send Dodge to Earth? And it was to get proof that the ban is not warranted, essentially, that not only the Tal Shiar, the Romulans are involved, but also Starfleet. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And if it's handled well, it can play out really well. As of right now, though, it's just kind of like a dead end for me. Um, I wanted to see more of Maddox. I wanted to see, that was really, and the Girardi and Maddox relationship with the cookies, and then doing what she did, and what she said. She said, "I wish I didn't know what I know. I wish they didn't show me." I assume that goes back to the mind meld with Commodore O that we haven't seen yet officially, but I assume she's seen some kind of vision of the destroyer, of what comes after, and as a result of her work, because Maddox does say, Soon and myself and you did it. Your contribution was important, and she's like, that's all the more that I have to, um, uh, whatever. Can't think of the word right now. Atone for. Jeff Jacobs puts in $2. Agnes getting a fighting ad was a clue about her. Yes, because they said come to the Robot Fighting Institute. She's an AI specialist. If you're thinking like aggression, I don't think so. Could be, but I really don't think so. I think it's more because there were robots who needed intelligence to fight, so they went to the AI person. Just a thought. DX2069 says, feels like stalling. I don't know what you're talking about specifically. Maybe Rafi's story. Mark Hansen says, Captain Foley, I can barely hear you. Really? Is volume an issue? It shouldn't be. It's the same setup as usual. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. The other thing that bothered me too is this was a Jonathan Frakes directed episode, and I saw none of Jonathan Frakes directing in this episode. You can only work with what you're given, I guess, but it did not feel like a Jonathan Frakes directed episode at all. Andrew Reynolds puts in $2. See Girardi's cheat twitch like lore and data. Yes, I did catch that, which is interesting. Some people have speculated that she might actually be a synth herself, like an early prototype of Daj or Soji, which is interesting because that means there's two of her unless one got killed. And yeah, I did catch a little bit of a twitch when that happened, so thank you for pointing that out. Jersey said, Trekyards, I'm not certain there was a mind meld. I get the feeling she was convinced, not coerced. Well, Jersey, there's actually a scene in one of the trailers of Commodore O giving her a mind meld at that time, so it's on the same location. So it's coming up. It'll be in a flashback. They like to ruin things with their trailers sometimes. Caleb Horn puts in $2. What do you think they showed Agnes? What do you think they showed Agnes? Again, like I said, I think it was a revelation of the Destroyer and what is going to become of the synths, because the Zat Vash want to destroy the synths because Soji's the Destroyer. She will cause an uprising of them. They're looking for a nest of them, so there's more than just the two. So I find it interesting that she said that, because I wish they hadn't have shown me that, and that's why she said that's yet another thing I need to atone for, because of my help with developing Soji and Daj, that I caused this. So again, it'll be interesting to see for sure, but that's my speculation. Ozzy says, she was a real person. B for Maddox made her just like Dr. Song's wife. Yeah. Oh, we get also clarification that Soji and Daj have a mother AI built in that activates them. So I thought that was really interesting as well, because we had called that before. You sound good. Volume is okay. Audio volume is lower than usual. Hey, Bird of Prey 5, how's it going? Sorry I got in late. Yeah, my phone is at max volume. Fine on my end. I think my speakers just suck. Volume is okay here. Yes, so I'm getting volume is fine and volume is quiet. I'll have to adjust that for next time. So I apologize, guys. Sorry. It is the same setup as last week, and last week was perfectly fine. So my apologies. Zeraxis throws in $5. I'll try to speak a little louder. This is comment one of two. My biggest complaint about this episode by far was Ichep's death scene. It felt like the writers couldn't decide how to handle it. It was an odd. It was odd. The fact too that she was essentially torturing her, and you gotta understand, it wasn't the lady. Jibel. I can't remember her name. I knew this was gonna be a problem. When I know it, I can say it. It's really nice. But anyway, it wasn't her that was cutting her up, because when she heard a noise, the lady that was cutting up Icheb, she said the other person's name, Jay's name. So it was somebody else cutting him up, but. Zeraxis, here's the second part, $5. Thank you very much. So comment two of two. They showed it at the start, and then again when revealing Seven's true intentions. Would have been better if they had shown us at confrontation. I think it was impactful to start the episode with that, to be honest. And the flashback to that scene later worked fine. So you think it would have been better if they had shown us at the confrontation, so saved it till the end. It's interesting. Yeah, they could have. The opening flashback could have just been her cradling the body. Again, we've been teased with that in the trailers, so that would have been fine. And then yes, to have the story unfold to be at the reveal, at the confrontation, that would actually be fantastic. So I agree with you there. I do agree with you. E. Paris puts in $2. Knows the Zot Vosh secret. One so terrible it'll mess you up. Yeah, and I think that is that Romulan. I can't call it a myth because mythology word doesn't exist in Romulan, but the Romulan foretelling of the destroyer. I think it ties in specifically with that. So DX2069 says, "Is she a synth? Then I don't think a mind meld would have worked, but she's an organic synth. So it would." Just saying. Sorry for the badly worded super chat. Word limit. Not a problem. Zeraxis, I'm 95% sure this thing is going to tie into Discovery and Control now, though. It had better not. We keep saying that. We hope it doesn't. If it does, but really hope not. Bejazel was the name, because it sounded like Bejazzle, which is what you call bedazzling lady parts. Bejazzle. I'll remember that now. Bejazzle. Thank you, Dreamer out there. Bejazzle. Yeah, it's a good name. So yeah, when the scene with Ichep was happening, the lady was cutting him up, and then she heard a noise, and she's like, Bejazzle? And then, yeah, then Seven came in. So Mark Maplebeck puts in $2 Canadian. What the fuck, Ichep? Didn't believe it. Used closed captioning to be sure. Yep, same here. Hold on, guys. I just gotta light out. Light out, man. Man down, man down. I gotta get new batteries for this light. Mark, I'm looking at you. New batteries would be good. I only got 2, and I think these ones are on their way out. But there you go. Purichep, he was a lieutenant, had a good career in Starfleet, a brilliant science officer, and he was kidnapped, tortured, and something he didn't have. Yeah, and now it's gonna suck every time watching Voyager and seeing Ichep. It's like, oh, we know what happens to you in the future. You poor bastard. Jeff says it's really good. Cap, don't change anything. I will not. Ozzy Menderes says, you've 285 people in here. Now I have 309 people. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. Hit that like button. 309 of you here. That is great. If you want to put your thoughts or comments in or have me read them on air, by all means, super chat. And don't forget, you can join the channel as well. There's a little join button down there beside the subscribe button. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you join. You can be a commander, captain, or admiral rank. They each have their own privileges. So check it out, and look forward to seeing you guys in the future. So awesome. Over 300 people. That is great. Bajazel. Bajazzle. I like it. Ozzy Madero said it was her assistant. There you go. SWTX Chaser puts in $5. Heavy Firefly references. Seeing things so terrible, random sacrifices, and writing off canon characters. Reavers are Borg here. Yeah. Bird of Prey 5. Well, hello, my friend. Puts in $2. Suspect Bajazzle is unknown sister of Deanna Troi. You know, it's funny because it's funny you say that, because in the one scene where she's talking to Maddox, there's like some tight shots on her face, and she's got the beauty mark and the same nose. She looks exactly like a young Deanna Troi, and I thought, God damn, she looks exactly like Marina Sirtis did. So yeah, I agree with you there. Zeraxis, either way would have worked, but showing it twice made it feel like they're really trying to force feeling. Agreed. 100% agreed. I do like the build up though, to have it totally revealed at the confrontation. That's a great idea. Zeraxis also says, like we saw it once, we're not going to necessarily need to see it again. Exactly. A lot of people didn't like that scene. I heard people were, felt sick seeing that scene. It was a little much. People were like, oh, I can't let my kids watch this. There was a few utterings of the word shits and ass in this episode. So no F-bombs, but yeah, it's something that you wouldn't expect to see from Star Trek necessarily. And I think it was a little overdone. They didn't need to quite do it the way they did, but they're going for that shock factor, I think, now. So that worked then. Thomas Ruffley puts in $4.99. I'm liking this series, but it is hard to see the drive to be better that the former shows demonstrated. Exactly. That's one of the main things about this that people are pissed off about, is the fact that it's nothing like TNG. And we knew that going in, but because Patrick Stewart said it's not going to be like TNG, it's going to have a different feel. It absolutely does. It does feel very much like a dark dystopian step away from the Star Trek world or the universe, and it's a little bit bothersome for some people. But I mean, it's what they're going for, I guess. I personally don't agree with it. I don't mind seeing that on some off worlds like Free Cloud or whatever, but the fact that it's Starfleet ex-Starfleet personnel and people on Earth that you're seeing this kind of stuff with, that's a little bit bothersome for me. But again, I can let it go. Let's see. Matt Deckard is here. Hello, Matt. How's it going? Zeraxis, sounds like that would be a pretty major, so it makes me think it is something completely devastating. Oh, I think I missed one. Hold on. I also hope it doesn't tie in, but they've set it up for themselves to easily tie them in an event that's traumatizing enough to convince Agnes to kill somebody she was apparently in love with. Yeah, her motivations for that are quite odd. And the fact that the emergency medical hologram keeps shutting down so easily when there's an obvious medical emergency right in front of them, they need to take off the safety protocols or install something new that he's like, no, I'm not going to make sure this patient's okay first. Because that kind of bothered me a little bit too. Joseph Cole puts in $1.99. Why are Borg parts so valuable? That's an interesting question, because I thought the same thing. What are they being used for? Because there's no indication of what these actual parts are being used for after the fact. Are they used for coasters? Laser pointers for dogs and cats? I don't know. Yeah, that's a very good point. I don't know why they're so valuable or what they're being used for after the fact. Now you've got 305 people. Hit that like button. Well, now we have 319, so yes, please, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If Icheb was a science officer, why was he wearing red? Ooh, good call, good catch there. I don't know. Maybe he was in the command science division. I don't know. Good, good catch though. Um, Matt Decker says, and we thought Chekhov getting this set of eel was bad, right? Ozzy says each ep was in section 31. No, please, just don't put everybody in section 31. Just don't do it. Yeah, that cortical node is in 7. I'd like to put a cortical node in 7. Or some kind of node. Austin says, bridge crew tonight? No, not tonight. I will be doing some this weekend though, I think. Mark Henson says, I love watching your Enterprise shields coming off and on in the background, Captain Foley. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a soft spot for Elcars, and so I like to show them off in the background occasionally. Jeff Jacobs puts $200 paying on 100 again at 150. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 328 of you here, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're just joining us, or if you've been here for a while, make sure that thumb is blue. Make sure you've clicked it. You can click it on your mobile and on your desktop as well. Just click that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. It's more important than you realize. E. Paris says, death to Karoga. It's for Bird of Prey 5 that's out there watching, sitting, cloaked. Matt Decker says, unimpressed with the sets, as am I. There's been nothing super impressive in the way of sets. I mean, the chateau is the nicest thing, and they're really milking that. I love how Picard says, this, not my idea. And Seven's like, yeah, but you like it enough to keep it. So that was nice. I love how she also wanted bourbon straight up. That was great. SWTX Chaser, they verbalized the dystopian worldview with Seven and Picard. Indeed. Zeraxis, I honestly don't mind a lot of the dystopian styles in here, but if they're going to go that way, they absolutely need to fix the end of the series and start making progress towards it earlier. And that ties in a little with something that Picard said to Seven. That Seven said to Picard. She says, so I thought this was some failed diplomatic mission or something, galaxy altering. I forget exactly what she said, but he's like, it may very well be that. I think he's referring to the corruption in Starfleet and trying to get that fixed as well. So, sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat, and like I said, if you're joined a member of the channel, it's a lot easier to see your stuff, and same with super chats. I'm trying to look for other interesting ones. If I missed yours, I apologize. If something you really want to say, just type it in again. Hopefully, I'll get to it. There's just so many people commenting. 328 of you here, so I'm just trying to keep up with things and not get too far behind, like Anti-Trekker and some other people. That you make a comment, and yeah, he'll read it, but it's literally like an hour later, so most people have left. I'm just trying to keep up to the, Mr. Captain 93 says, Free Cloud makes me think of Nimbus from Star Trek V. Yes, indeed. Squadra Course, a story can be dark and still have characters and or a story with hope for the future. Indeed, this is also true. DX2 2069, I don't get how the EMH wasn't activated as soon as Maddox came onto the ship. I also agree, because they don't have a doctor. Well, they had Dr. Girardi, but she's not a real doctor. And yeah, that's the first thing I would have done. Maybe that's what they did, because he was being stabilized when Picard was talking to him, because the computer said increasing clotting by 12% or whatever. So the computer was working on it. And then when she shut things down, it said, or the EMH said, without micro whatever repairs that are ongoing, he's going to die, essentially. So, but yeah, I think him being dismissed twice, it really pissed me off, honestly. Zeraxa says, yeah, I agree with you, Captain. It bugged me that the EMH didn't seem to make any attempt to figure out what was going on. He seemed totally useless in that scene. Not only that, but the scene in sickbay where he comes in and says, what is your psychological emergency? Your blood pressure, and then, oh, shit, there's a patient here. What's your medical emergency? It's like, really? You're focusing on her? Your sensors on the ship that tie into you focused on her and her blood pressure when this guy is lying here dying? That kind of pissed me off a little bit too. E. Paris says, Trekyards, EMH needs to be easy to shut down. Imagine if one malfunction went all Mars synth on a patient. Person needs to be able to easily turn it on. Okay, I'll buy that. I will buy that. Charzia puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you very much, Charzia. I don't think Bejazel could be Deanna's sister. She showed no signs of having any useful telepathy. Actually, I see your point. I thought you were being serious there for a second. Like, no, we didn't actually mean that it was her sister. But yeah, that's funny. Squadra Core says, Harry Potter is a good example of a dark setting with characters trying to be or do good. Sure. Not much of a Harry Potter fan. My daughter is, but me not so much. Zeraxis, another question. If Icheb was on leave, why was he in a Starfleet uniform at all? If he's off helping a group of effectively vigilante organizations, then it makes sense for him not to wear it. Well, they never said that. She never said that she was helping the Fenric Rangers. She just said that he was off his ship. Probably like you see in every episode of TNG ever, where somebody's like Geordi's on a runabout or on a shuttle on their way to or from a mission or a conference. It's probably one of those situations where he was technically on leave because he was away from the ship, but still doing something, Starfleet related. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards, was that the same actor from TNG from Addicts? No, it was not. We went over this before. That actor hasn't acted much since that episode, and now he is the director of some kind of musical institute or the classical musical school. So I don't know if he got approached or not, but I think they did a good job replacing him. The anonymous user Trekyards, in future versions of each ep from Voyager, he also wore red. Dun dun dun. Okay, cool. Ozzy Manderos, mine is blue, blue, blue. I think you mean the like button. Zeraxis, I suspect there's some unseen shenanigans going on with Starfleet intelligence or something related to the Rangers, and he got caught up because of it. No idea if we'll get any more payoff on that, though. SWTX Chaser says, did you like that Tranya is being given? Yes. Tranya, I hope you relish it as much as I. It's Tang. It's basically Tang. It's not the only time it's been referenced either. There's somebody, I forget who now, likes their Tranya served chilled. But anyway, yeah, I did like the Tranya thing. Fleet Plus Whitback puts in $1.99. Maddox's death bugged me. Why was no one alerted? It absolutely bugged me too. I mean, there's got to be, and once they find out he's dead, are they going to investigate and see her on the monitors, on the cameras? There's got to be security feeds in there. So yes, that bothered me as well, extremely. Zeraxis says, Seven's come a long way from being able to drink a single sip of alcohol without keeling over. Yeah, bourbon, straight up. Picard was impressed. Doug Van Dorn puts in $5. Thank you very much, Doug. You think Seven survives the bar shootout? Doesn't look like she expected to. I thought the same thing. You guys were mirroring my thoughts exactly. Yeah, she just like turns and like walks into it. And of course, they got Stormtrooper aim, the bad guys, because they totally miss her. She, of course, has that enhanced, sight and visual acuity thing, so she's like nailing them. So yeah, she definitely survives. She'll probably show up again, especially considering she gave Picard the thing. If you ever need a vigilante, here you go. And I love how she's too like, oh, can I borrow some of your phasers? And Picard like kind of looks forward to the front of the ship where Rios is and is like, yeah, sure. I mean, they're not my phasers, but I'll let you borrow them. If I was Rios, I'd be like, don't be giving away my shit. They're going to have to go on the board cube later, and they're going to run to the thing, and there's going to be like 2 missing. God damn it, those are the ones I needed. Darth Maul says, Trekyards, I wanted to drink bourbon the way Seven did after that opening scene and at the end. Such an emotional episode. Yes. Ryan Howe, $2 Canadian. A blonde with a PhD, I knew there was something up. Matt Deckard, can we get a phaser that doesn't look like a Glock? Well, those weren't Starfleet issued phasers. Those were just guns. But yes. I mean, even this looks like, this is the tactical assault phaser from Star Trek 6, and it's got like a slide on it and a magazine that goes in the bottom. So Jeff Jacobs, $2, 178, awesome. But 325 people watching. Hit like, hashtag make Jeff pay. Yes, please hit like, folks. It just takes a second. If you're on the computer, just either minimize if you have it full screen, just minimize it, hit the thumbs up, and then put it full screen again. Or if you're just watching in a standard window, just hit the thumbs up, please. Same with the mobile device. If you're watching it horizontally, as you should be, just flip it vertically, hit the like button, and then go back to, please get the likes up for us. That would be awesome. Squadron Course, I think we should rename the like button to the Make Jeff Pay button. Yeah, but Jeff's not always here, so, you know. Ozzy says, no more neutral zone in Romulan space between Romulus and Federation. Yep, that's a line from that Seven said. You know, once the neutral zone fell, we were out here protecting, you know, people that needed to be protected. It's another great line. DX2069, Picard just is too trusting of her. I don't get any of this. Picard is not this stupid of a person. Again, I totally agree with you. His character just seems like old man Patrick Stewart at this point. There's no Picard in him. There's the odd scene, there's the odd indication in his voice, the odd delivery that does feel Picard, but it's too few and far between for me, especially when I go and watch an episode of TNG before or after the show, and it's like, ugh, it's just not Picard, unfortunately. And I know he's older, I get it, but Zeraxis, I thought Seven said he was explicitly helping her with something while he was on leave, but I did watch it at midnight, so maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, I think you're misremembering, because I don't think that's what was said, unless I totally missed something or misinterpreted something, which is totally 100% believable. Ensign Ricky is here, $2. Hey Cap, hello Ensign Ricky, how's it going, sir? Hope you're doing well, and I was watching the live you were on earlier. I'll have to join you guys for another live sometime soon. But yeah. Ozzy keeps saying Seven is still gorgeous. Yes. E. Paris, Trekyards, I think you're quite behind on comments. I'm guessing an internet lag. This message was sent at 10:12 Standard Time. Well, that was... I got it at 11:09 my time, which is literally... Because I'm Eastern Standard Time, so I'm like an hour ahead of you. So I got it like 3 minutes before you sent that, and yeah, I'm scrolling through, but I don't want to get so far behind, so I'm just kind of skipping large chunks unless I see something that really stands out to me. So that's why super chats are great. Ozzy says maybe Agnes turned off the cameras. Yeah, but then there's need to be an explanation for why the cameras were off when they go to check the records and after the guy is dead. If she was the only one down there, it seems kind of weird, don't you think? So it'd be interesting to see how it plays out the next episode, or if it is even mentioned. Ozzy Medeiros. Ozzy Medeiros says that's why Seven is a Ranger. Jarzia says that's Zeraxis, you're right. He was on leave from the USS Coleman. Yes, he was on leave from the USS Coleman, but I don't think it was to help her specifically. He just got ambushed, so 4:13 a.m. here, says Thribs. Well, it's 11:14 p.m. here right now, the 2nd. So I'm not far behind. Zeraxis, he's a captain, not a Time Lord. Ozzy, is there a Klingon neutral zone? There was at one point. I don't think it exists anymore in TNG because of the Alliance. But there's always a buffer between political areas like that. I think the Romulan neutral zone was special because it was quite a large buffer, and it was specifically called out to be the neutral zone. But even in wars these days, there's neutral zones in different areas. So I believe that, yes, there was a Klingon Federation neutral zone at some point. It just wasn't as large or as wide, I guess, as the Romulan neutral zone. Darth Maul says, Mott was the Enterprise D barber. Guess he has chain like supercuts. Yeah, there was a Mott's barbershop sign as well. Just got into... Because they've dropped that. They've dropped Quark's bar sign. There was also a... in the first episode, Cassidy Yates shipping. So I guess everybody's just franchising now. looks like there's an interesting conversation here. Max Volume says, I think the cortical node being removed was fatal, just like when Seven's malfunctioned in that one episode of Voyager and it nearly killed her. And Fleetpaw said, no, Icheb donated his cortical node to Seven and adapted his physiology to compensate for the loss of the cortical node. Fleetpaw is right. And I don't think taking that out was fatal by any means. I just think he was a bit of a pussy because I think he could have been saved. I mean, yes, he had whatever implant this was removed, and then the eye was also removed. There's a thing on his chest. Looks like there's something removed there, or that was like the phaser blast or whatever that incapacitated him, one or the other. But I think he would have been able to been healed at some point. But he's just like, no, kill me now. It's like, okay, sure. Why? Edson Ricky puts in $2. Mott is missing the T and Quarks is missing the S. No, I'm pretty sure Quarks had an S. I don't have the screenshots in front of me. Like I said, I'll have those tomorrow when we do our full review, and also when we do our live review at 5 o'clock, where we, it'll be like, for this episode, usually they're around 2 hours. For this episode, it might be a little bit longer. Some have been up to 3 hours, but we break down every scene. We talk about the good and the bad. I'm not sure if Samuel's going to like this episode. See, the fact that I didn't, this is like my least favorite episode of all of them so far. It had very good few little moments, but overall it was just my least favorite episode. So I'm going to rate it pretty low. Samuel is either going to absolutely fucking love it or he's going to just despise it. It's one or the other. I don't think there's going to be a nice medium there for him. So it'll be interesting to see his take on it. But if you want to see that live, by all means, check us out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Matt Deckard says, I've got to get my brother's wheelchair together. Let's do a vid chat soon. I'm still listening. Yes, Matt, at some point we do. There's a bunch of people I need to talk via Skype to. There's you, there's Vance, there's David, who's doing a Trekyards Originals with us. I need to get on I got so much stuff to do. Plus I have some unboxings and some merchandise stuff that we got sent that I need to do videos for, and then of course start up again with the Eagle Moss review. So I've got a lot on my plate, and just because of Picard and some like life happening, I've just got behind. So next week is looking like I'll be doing some filming and some more stuff coming soon. So Jeff Jacobs, $2. 214 again at 275. 300 here should be easy. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Yeah, 307 still here. So make sure you guys hit that like button and let's get the likes up on this thing. Love how badass 7 was this episode. Jerry Meyer is amazing. Also, hi everyone, says Glimgy, which is Brad. Hello, Brad. That's funny, I started reading the comment before I even realized who wrote it, so that's odd. But hi, Brad, hope you're feeling better. And don't be stealing food from the training room without cleaning up. You need to clean up. You're a bad, bad, bad boy. No one out there knows what the fuck I'm talking about except for Brad. Pretty sure Quark is living on his private moon. I mean, yeah, probably. Depends if Sam likes Icheb or not. Sam likes Icheb's character. He's also likes Manu. So Ozzy says Quark is spelled this way. Oh, so there's no S. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought I saw an S, but I'll have to go back and check out the screen caps, like I said. So I like this episode more than the last two. At least something happened. See, a lot of people have been saying that. Like I said, when I started this, a lot of people either hate this episode or love this episode. There's no real in between. Me, I didn't really enjoy it. It felt too long for what it was. And like I said, you could have made this thing into a 15-minute short trek and it would have been great. But that's just me. DX2069, 7 brought back Neelix, who was dead for almost 2 days, but Icheb lost an eye and she couldn't save him. The writers seem to watch like 2 episodes of Voyager and TNG only. Yeah. They are afraid of casting Worf because of the Klingon debacle, says Instant Ricky. I totally disagree. We saw Worf already in this show. He was in the very first episode. When they were announcing Picard for the FNN, the Federation News Network. You saw there he is, Arbiter of Succession, with Worf standing right beside him, looking exactly the same. So I totally disagree with you on that, Ensign Ricky. Zaraxis, my guess is he won't like it just due to the sheer amount of technicalities that don't make sense in here, but could be anything. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Sam's response for sure. Ozzy says, you mean the governor? Yeah. Ever since I said that on that live Q&A with Sylvia, people have been like, yeah. Zaraxis, I figure the Cap knows Sam better than any of us, and I don't know how can we know? Well, I don't even know what his opinion is gonna be on this one. It's always interesting to find out. Usually when I think he'll hate it, he'll like, I actually really like this one. It's like, what? I mean, there's the odd time where I'm right in regards to his opinion, but generally he surprises me. So Squadron Course, yay for Trekyards Originals. If you have a ship design, you should reach out to them. Yes, Squadron Course is right. If you have a ship design you'd like us to feature on a show, you get a 3D render of your ship, like a 3D model of it. You get, depending on the package you get 5, 7, whatever, animation passes with different, going to warp and a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, we break down the ship with you. We create a history for it. We do all the technobabble for you. We Skype call you in, talk to you about that kind of stuff. We develop its history and stuff with you over Skype. And you can even join us on the episode to talk about your ship. So it is a great, fun thing. So if you're interested and you have a ship you've designed, email trekyards@hotmail.com. Let's see here. Zaraxis, I thought it was very average. It wasn't great. It wasn't too terrible, but it was a bit boring just for different reasons. See, Zaraxis, that mirrors my thoughts exactly. SWTX Chaser, Zaraxis, this felt almost like a reboot of the series or a second pilot. I didn't get that feeling at all. The anonymous user Trekyards, I got the impression that each have had more than just an eye removed, possibly organs. Yeah, I got that feeling as well, especially with the big thing in gouging his shirt. Plus his eyepiece here was missing, which is what 7 has as well, just a little bit different location. So it must be super important. But I still think that it felt odd that he wanted to be killed just because of that. I mean, if I had my eye just gouged out, I'd probably say the same thing, but I mean, Picard looked great with an eye patch. It was the same eye, so each head could have been styling. He could have been cool. Jersey, 7 said when the evacuation ended, some of us tried to maintain order on the worlds the Federation left behind. We were based on Fenris. One of us was a young science officer on leave. Okay, one of us was. That'd be interesting. Okay, gotcha. There you go. Jarzia, sounds like he was working outside Starfleet orders. He was Maquis. He deserved everything that happened to him. So say we all. Just kidding. Jason, 6690, $2. Thoughts on Picard and 7's first time meeting? It was alright. Wasn't quite what I expected, but it was definitely interesting. Again, nothing spectacular. I expected more of a flashback to them in their first meeting, but no, this kind of was their first meeting in person. I love their little talk too about the Borg. After you were reclaimed from the Borg, did you regain your humanity? And Picard's like, yes. And she said, all of it? No. But we're working on it, aren't we? That was kind of a nice moment. So, BA, Borg Anonymous, they had a meeting. It was great. The Last King of Scotland puts in $2. Is Old Man Picard part of your Star Trek headcanon? Not really. I'll have to wait till the series is over, or the season is over, before I can really say that, but it is officially canon, so I don't, like I said, it doesn't feel like Picard to me, unfortunately, so Zaraxis, I mean, I've got several ships to commission already. I'm just waiting for Cap and Sam to get back to me on it and organize it all. we're busy. We got Picard going on. We got a whole bunch of originals underway. So, and Zaraxa says, figure they'll get around to it once they get time. Yeah, just keep bugging us and we'll get to it. It's fine. We got a list that's like long of things we want to do and things we have to do and things we are currently doing. So there's a Glimg, which is Brad, puts in $5. Sorry if you discussed this earlier. Thoughts on Sevens being a Fenris Ranger, settling old debts from her past. She seemed badass with no remorse. I think the Fenris Ranger thing is stupid because it makes me think of Power Rangers and or like Forest Rangers. It just sounds fucking stupid. And so I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts are on that. I'm not super happy that she's a Fenris Ranger. Ooh, we need to learn more about them, I guess. But they just seem like a bunch of assholes that patrol the Wild West and have a badge and are judge, jury and executioner all in one. It just sounds sketchy as hell. So I don't know how I feel about Seven being one of them. But it's a good question. Good question. Jarzia, rolling on the floor laughing. Exactly. Death to the monkey. Zaraxis, plus one internet cookie for BSG reference, so say we all. Let's see here. Frackin' A. Zaraxis, also, so far Picard has often fell into having the BSG syndrome. I've described it a few times. A lot of the drama feels forced and very contrived and seems like it's there for the sake of shock value. That's the thing about this series that bugs me a lot, is the shock. Things are just done for shock value, especially this opening scene of this one. Is it really necessary? Not really. You could have done the same scene but not had quite as graphic of an eye removal, and I would have been fine with that. So, Matt Deckard says, thankfully we got to hear Picard's real accent without the translator. Ah, you see. Squadra course is the first step of Borg Anonymous to assimilate your problem. Yes. Glemg says, she is the law. She definitely needs a Judge Dredd helmet. Dreamer out there, they were looking for Icheb's cortical node, but he gave it to Seven. Good continuity. Hey, that's a good point. I like that. You're absolutely right. Mr. Captain 93, sad that Seven and Chakotay didn't work out. Yeah. Again, we need, what they need to do is do a short trek on every character. Post, like, in the same time period as Picard. So post their shows, like a 15-minute short on Tom Paris, where he's at, a 15-minute short on Harry Kim. That's what the short treks should be about from now on. Focus on these old characters. Bring the old actors back. Just have a quick, hey, how you doing? You're still alive, and you're a captain now, Harry. That's awesome. That would be cool. Jarzia, get out of bed. Resistance is futile. Wake up and assimilate the day. Oh, and that's the other thing that bothered me. 709 said he's like family to me. He's like the only kin I've ever known. Oh, what about Naomi Wildman? You basically like helped raise her. You were like her idol. So I found that disingenuous. Sure, he was Borg. Sure, very much like a son to him, but I don't know. Ozzy says Seven also went on revenge, just like Khan, but she did it for Icheb. Marie Nathan, Red Letter Media, said, oh, wore sunglasses so Agnes couldn't tell she's a robot. That's speculation and totally fucking stupid. I listened to that too, and it was dumb. Sometimes the shit they say is just nonsensical. So, yeah, I don't think that's the case at all. A Man of Sand, Captain Foley, what about that item 7 gave Picard at the end? Some items to summon or show to a Fenris Ranger. Will Picard use it in the future? It reminds me of the coin of Bravus. Yes, I'm sure he'll use it probably at the end of this season when they really need some help, um, or possibly in a future season. But I think it'll come back up for sure. DX 2069. The Borg have been really made out to be so pathetic in this show, like they are not even a threat. Yep. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards, they were graphic because they are trying to compete with the Game of Thrones and those type of shows. Well, they need to fucking stop it. You can compete with those kind of shows without being gory. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Zeraxis, I've just kind of realized the thing Picard is missing most of an entire character. It's missing the ship. Still waiting to see a Starfleet ship somewhere. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of building the ship's persona. We got the name Lasodian in this episode. We got its model number, and the company that makes it are mentioned when they also enter Free Cloud orbit. So it's kind of building that. But yeah, the ship is just not special, really, in my opinion. Jarzia, $2. Maybe Chakotay leads the Rangers. He's got the resume. That's racist. Just because he's an Indian doesn't mean he's in charge of the Rangers. Fleet Pass Swift back with $1.99. What shirt are you wearing, Captain? Looks cool. This is from, I believe, one of the Star Trek mission crates. It's an Enterprise D with a Borg cube behind it. See? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So there you go. Jeff Jacobs, they really screwed the pooch as far as handling of Seven's character. No history, not like her, very disappointing. Yeah, all her quest to become human and, well, not really a quest to become human, but her 7 years, or not 7 years, however long she was on Voyager, her training, and it just seems really odd that she went back for revenge, but at the same time it's Icheb, so I can forgive that whole thing. It kind of makes sense. It's just a weird contrivance of contrivances that she saves their asses. They're looking for Maddox. She apparently was just flying around. I don't think she was there specifically for Bajazzle. But then Bajazzle has Maddox. It's a weird set of circumstances. So, dreamer out there. Rangers, remind me of Babylon 5. We live for one, we die for one. Sure. Zeraxis, $2. Rangers need to come back in a terraforming ship and terraform Mars. Put out those fires. Matt Deckard, they toss around cussing like an elementary school teacher that hasn't been to a bar in years trying to fit in. Oy, oy. Jersey, a hearty har, you know what I meant. Nom Nom Com says, Trekyards, what do you think of the inclusion of money now in Star? Oh, that bugged me too. Yes. You know of Free Cloud? Yeah, the Fennec Rangers. We keep our money there. Okay, thank you for that. Again, money in Star Trek's always been a topic I like to steer away from because there's arguments for, there's arguments against, and I just don't care. I assume there's just different forms of credit. It's not considered money by most people, so when they say we have a money-free society, they're not really telling the absolute truth. I don't want to get into that. It's a bunch of... But yeah, that bugged me. It did bug me. So actually, seriously, imagine Rios' ship about to be blown up when some stupid giant ship warps in and turns it into a robot and begins punching Romulan ships. It would be wonderfully fun and totally stupid. Well, then you should have Tiberius Maximus. I think that was a ship. From the IDW crossover of Transformers in the animated series of Star Trek, where the Enterprise, well, they make a copy of the Enterprise that transforms into this huge robot. Yeah, that'd be neat. Mr. Captain says, Trekyards, I'm still thinking Q is involved, and it might be the case. But Q is just like a band-aid to put on everything. Everything can be Q, and that's fine. Mole, Captain Foley, is there going to be a Trekyards t-shirts? I think you could make some more money this way. Mole, there's a shit ton of Trekyards shirts. Check down below. In the description, there's a link to the Teespring store. We've got a multitude of Trekyards shirts. I wear Trekyard shirts on the show all the time. We've got different pinups, different alien pinups. We've got just the Trekyards brand. We've got a whole bunch of Trekyard stuff. Just click the Teesprings link down below to check those out. If you're on YouTube on the computer and you just have this open in a regular window and not full screen, underneath the video you'll see like there's a row of shirts you can scroll through that are different Trekyard shirts. You can get them in a variety of colors. So Mole, yes, we have them. Go check them out. Link is in the description of every video. There's a whole bunch of cool links down there. Nobody ever looks at the description of videos ever, but there's cool shit down there. A whole bunch of cool stuff that you can go check out. You can save yourself money on Elon ships. A whole bunch of stuff down there, so check them out. Ozzy, it will be the Enterprise E and the Defiant to the rescue. Wesley Crusher in command of the Enterprise E, Worf in command of the Defiant. I think it'll be the other way around. I think they've already kind of stated that Worf eventually became captain of the Enterprise F. I forget where I heard that, but... Manzo fans, Trekyards, Captain Foley, are the real Borg likely to show up at some point? I mean the real Borg collective, not the captured, deprogrammed people. I seriously doubt it. I don't think it's going to show up, at least this season. It might be a possibility in a future season, but no, I don't think this season. Zoraxis, so much absurd coincidences in Picard. Almost feels like Star Wars, except JJ Star Wars. Yeah, there's too many coincidences for me. Lee Ledbetter puts in $5. Thank you very much, Lee. Much appreciated. I expected Seven to use her tubules on the woman to convert her to Borg and leave her for the others to harvest instead of outright killing the woman. I don't think 709 has that capability any longer. I don't think she can use her tubules at all, let alone to inject nanites. So no, I mean, that would have been interesting, I guess, but I don't think she has that capability. Picard feels like a guest in his own show. Yeah, he does. Mr. Captain 93 says, Trekyards, wouldn't it have been better if the lizard bodyguard was Gorn? If it would have been better. I kind of liked the bodyguard the way he was, but it would have been nice to have seen a Gorn or have another Gorn bodyguard, sure. But you don't have to always, you know, use the old things so gratuitously. And I say that, and yet in Enterprise I said they had a whole bunch of stuff they could have used and they didn't. So just don't listen to me. Yes, it would have been great if he was a Gorn. Zoraxis, I'm sort of okay with money existing in Trek for small organizations without loads of backing, but things like Starfleet and the other major nations. Sure, yeah. There's ways to explain it for sure. Yeah, Mole, check out the Teespring store. I know that Fleet Plus sent you the link there, so check it out. Lots of cool stuff. Lots more than shirts, too. We have mugs, we got cell phone cases, we got blankets, we got pillows, we got everything. Socks. There's socks. You can get a pair of Trekyard socks with Samuel on one and me on the other. Weird. I don't know why anybody would want them, but they're there. So... And Jeff Jacobs also shared the link as well, so thank you, Jeff. Zoraxis, Trek has always been some odd contrivance generated either through different in real life tech progression or just weird decisions made by the way stuff is done in universe. Yes, let's see here. 290 people here and 73 minutes. Okay, good. Zoraxis, Seven converted somebody to Borg also sounds too cruel for even a very hardened, angry Seven as well. Yeah, it's better just to vaporize them. Reginald Barkley says, Trekyards, do you think Alison Pill is actually the main villain of the show? Like she's pulling all the strings the way she killed Maddox, just brutal, and why? I think that might be a distinct possibility. That'd be a good twist. Why? Again, like I said, she could be a synth. There could be a lot of reasons. I'm not that talented of a guy to creatively come up with them. Samuel would spit like 50,000 out at you and talk for the next 2 hours about one plot thread. But I think it might be a possibility, and there's definitely reasons that it could be the case. So Zoraxis would have also liked to have seen the Gorn. They're neat and don't get at all enough screen time. I agree. Dreamer out there, Trekyards, if the bodyguard was a Gnostic, Picard would have had to face that fear. I think he's over that fear at this point. He's just like, oh, if I hadn't had the artificial heart, then I would have been dead long ago. Squadra Course, I know not everyone is into tech, but in my honest opinion, the consistency of the tech is one of the strengths of Trek. I agree. I totally agree. Hence, Trekyards. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards. Alison Pill's character stated she knew the truth. Yes, they showed her the truth. She wished she didn't know the truth. And again, I think it ties back into the whole Romulan thing of the Destroyer. The fact that these synths, because of Soji, who's the Destroyer, they're going to rise up and they're going to destroy the universe. So, yeah. Zeraxis, if Picard wasn't over Noskins before TNG, he certainly is after Tapestry. Yeah. Bard's House Gaming, I'm definitely buying a pair of Trekyards socks when I get paid, lol. Seriously, if you do, please, for the love of God, send me a picture. Send me a picture, because I'd love to see the Trekyards merchandise out in the wild. We go to a lot of conventions and stuff, and we run into people that, like, first thing they do is they whip open their coat and show us the Trekyards shirt, and we're like, ah! I mean, it's always great to see pictures of your stuff, your merchandise out in the wild, so to speak. So if you do buy the socks, please share a picture. We've also got some cool Trekyards mugs and things with the Trekyards logo. We do have comm badges, but they're not available in the Teespring store. That's something you'd have to message me directly on Facebook for, or email us at trekyards@hotmail.com and just put comm badges, because we've got a bunch of Trekyards, the Trekyards symbol. It's this one over here. This is the resin one, but that's the symbol it'll be. We've got the resin one, and we got a bunch of acrylic ones. We've also got different styles. We got a Wrath of Khan styled one, original motion picture styled one, which is the circle around it. Section 31, it's like half silver, half black. So that's the Trekyards branded one. So if you're interested in comm badges or anything, the new ones are all magnetically backed, but this one is one of the old school resin ones, so it's got the pin. But if you're interested in those, by all means, shoot me a direct message on Facebook or email us at trekyards@hotmail.com and just put in the subject line comm badge or something. Jeff Jacobs says, I have a Trekyards mug, and he does indeed have a Trekyards mug. Soji finds out that Narek is sleeping with his sister, and she gets activated. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards, strange how the Romulans seem to be more dangerous and powerful now that they've lost their planet. It's like a wounded animal, or an animal that, if you're standing between it and its house or its home where it feels safe, it'll do anything to get back there. So, yeah, just because they feel they're not secure anymore. They don't feel like they're powerful, so they have to be more vicious, I think, is the thing. You're scattered. You're going to be more desperate. You're going to need to make a point, and so that's what I think that's all about. Bard's House Gaming. Ooh, I could put that on my computer with the QMX badges. Yeah, because they're all magnetically backed, and we've got a wide variety of different styles. So if you're interested, drop us a line. I'll send you a few pictures and show you what we have. Scythe Commander, I have a Trekyards mug. I drink hard liquor in it while I watch Discovery. Seriously? You have a Trekyards mug? That's awesome. Tiburon, just joining. Did we like this episode? It was much better than I was expecting from the previews. It was better than I expected from the previews, but I absolutely thought it was the worst one so far. Not saying it was bad, it was just a little boring in spots, and it didn't include anything Soji or Borg, which is kind of a nice change of pace, but I think it suffered from that a little bit. And yeah, a little bit boring, a little bit repetitive, a little bit, like I've also said too in this, it could have been a 15-minute short trek and it would have been fine. So it had some really interesting moments, some fun stuff, but overall it was just not my cup of tea. So Ozzy says we will see Spock soon because he was on Romulus. He was on Romulans. He was on Romulans. That dirty bastard. Parlez-vous français? Oui. If they drop the shield around the artifact, will the Borg show up? No, because of the submatrix collapse. That's the only reason the Romulans were able to get a hold of the Borg cube, because it basically was injured limb to the Borg. The Collector just cut it off and left it. So no, if they lower the shields on it, it will not be reconnected. It's my understanding. Zeraxis says, one thing I absolutely loved about this episode was Picard with his eye patch. I really wish they had played this like a heist episode. It would have been extra fun, and that's what I thought they were going for with the episode. That's what I thought they were going to do with this, and they didn't. Just saying to Elvis to ease up on the emojis. I mean, there's a few there. That's fine. Speaking of emojis, guys, like Zeraxis, Ozzy, anybody that's joined the channel, you've got exclusive Trekyards emojis that you can throw in there. Pictures of the commander, pictures of myself, the Trekyards logos, you name it, you can put it in there, pretty much. So show off some of the emojis that you can put in the live chat for the people that might not have joined and might be interested in joining, because there's the option to join the channel at the commander, captain, or admiral rank. So if you want to do that, there you go. See, there's some from Zeraxis, and look, there's Captain Foley. What a handsome fellow from DX 2069. So yeah. Anyway, Dixon Hill meets Fajazzle. Oh, Zeraxis, you ruined it. You put in Samuel. I'm just kidding. But there's some of the other emojis you can get. I'm the captain. Yeah, see, now they're just being spammed with Trekyards emojis. There's the commander and myself. The Trekyards Research Division patch. There's some cool stuff there. So I'm caught up on the chat now, which is good. So thank you guys for joining. It's been 82 minutes, so almost an hour and a half. There's still 274 of you here, which makes me want to say, hit the like button. For the love of God, man, would you please hit the like button? Because it really helps us out. If you can't super chat or support the channel by joining, or do a Patreon or any of the usual stuff, one of the best ways to support us and help us is just hit that like button and comment, share the video around, all that jazz. But the interactions, the liking the video and things like that are really important. Plus, subscribing to the channel and making sure you have the notifications turned on. Surprisingly enough, just hitting the notification icon and selecting all helps the analytics of a video or of a channel in general. So if you can help out the channel in that way, please do so. We would really appreciate it. So very simple things you can do if you can't afford to send a super chat or join us on Patreon or whatever. Lots of different ways to help with the channel, not just monetarily. You need a happy cap emoji, sad cap emoji, confused, etc. Maybe at some point. We only have a limited number of emojis we can put in there right now, but the more people we get joining the channel, the more emojis we can put in. So we can keep adding more as long as the numbers keep going up. So there's 275 people here and only 272 likes. There should be at least 273. At least 273 likes. Yes. But I think we just went up. We're at 279 likes now, so that's awesome. DX2069, what did you think of the preview for next week? Looks like they're going to go full steam ahead now. Thank God, yes. They finally make it to the artifact. So that'll be episode 6. So, yes, I think, I've said this the last couple times. Last couple weeks I said, oh, they'll finally get the story started. Now that we've gathered the crew. Oh, there's another crew member. Oh, and for fuck's sake, just get the thing started. So I think, yeah, it's a promising sign that they're going to actually kick things into gear next week. So, yeah, we should have 300 likes. We absolutely, positively should have 300 likes. With 283 likes right now and 278 people here, I'm sure 278 of those people, not all of them were here from the beginning. So if you just joined, or you joined halfway through, you joined 10 minutes ago or whatever, hit the like button and let's get us up to the 300 mark. That'd be fantastic for the end of this episode. Hey Captain, I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode. I thought there were a few points I liked, but for the most part it was not good writing. I agree, Zachary. I agree. I'm beginning to wonder if Troy and Riker aren't going to be in a freaking flashback. Yeah, I'm curious about that myself. We'll have to see about that. Fleet Pass Whitback puts in $1.99. Initial rating cap. Oh, see, I don't like rating things on my first reaction reviews because then it's... Honestly, as of right now, I think a 4 out of 10. That might go up tomorrow when we do our live, or not a live, our full edited review. It might go up to a 5, maybe. And after the live full review that we do at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then, after talking to Samuel with it and you guys live, it might change my view on it a little bit. So it might be bumped up to, again, like a 5, 5.5-ish, but right now it's sitting at a 4. I need some convincing to get it a little bit higher. I can't see it going any higher than 5.5 though for those, but as of right now it's sitting at a 4, and I've watched it 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. Will Hugh, aka 3 of 5, be there? Yes, he will be. No, Joseph says 1. Dave says 1 out of 10. Mario 7 of 10, not 9. Strychnine says, yeah, it was kind of bad. E. Paris would have been a 6, but I agree with the 4. I think I don't do eyeballs. I don't think Troy and Riker are on Earth. That's an interesting point, Gina. I was convinced they were, but now I'm not so sure, so I kind of agree with you there. Ozzy gives it a 7 out of 9. 7 of 9, seriously. David says 1 will stay with me. Jeff Jacobs, $2. Oh yeah, I said I would pay at $275, but we need 3. We need 3 more to get to $275. No, we got $292. Oh, I think you mean the 300. $292. We need 8 people that haven't hit like yet. 8 people. Come on, you guys can do it. So 8 of you out there that haven't hit like. Let's get to 300. It's a simple goal. 300. Hit like. Zerash says, I'm getting a 5.5 out of 10. Personally, killed off the character I really liked for cheap shock value. Had loads of potential, but almost entirely failed to capitalize. Still progressed the story, but meh. I mean, that's a fantastic review right there. 297. We need 3 people to hit that like button. 3 more people. 3 more people. 3 more people. 5 out of 10 for Ming Wei Lee. It's 4 times more than me, says Thribs. Episode 1 of Picard is still by far my most memorable for me. Yeah. 301, 302 likes. That's awesome. We hit the 300 mark. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Fleet Paw says, same here, about a 5 out of 10. Hey now, any episode with Jerry is a 7 out of 9. Thanks for doing the show. I appreciate your insights. Thank you, Tony, for watching and for telling me that. I appreciate that. Troy and Riker are obviously in Canada. Emerald gives it a 9 out of 10. Elvis gives it -1 because Frakes directed it well. Frakes didn't direct it well, in my opinion. This had none of the Frank stank on it. He didn't raise the leg over the chair on this one. He just sat in the chair normally. It was very subpar as far as directing went. Mr. Captain 93, Trekyards, we got a Fox special, Borg Autopsy, hosted by Jonathan Frakes. No, but we should. Jeff Jacobs, I give it a 2 out of 9. Give it a 5 out of 10, says KG313. Just for implications for future episodes, the rest was not good. Travis says a 2 out of 10 at best. This was upsetting all around. Alan Copeland says 300. Yes, we had 300 likes. We're now at 301, which is fantastic. Philip Gaming, 3.5 out of 10. Dreamer out there, Trekyards. Hey Cat, did you see Star Trek Picard Locutus in the preview? Was that Locutus though? I saw a Borg, I didn't see Locutus. If it is Locutus, it's a flashback. 6.5 out of 10 for Mr. Captain. Jarzia says, Patrick Stewart reading script, is there any nudity in it? Zeraxis, I thought the directing was okay, the shots were fine, but the writing was flat out bad. Yeah, 9 out of 10 says Colin. Gina Gray, this was a 5-bagger with 5 pints of Tranya. 5 bags of popcorn and 5 shots of Tranya. Give this episode a 1.5 out of 10, says Becky. Thank you, Becky, for joining, by the way. Zachary says 5 out of 10 for him. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much all over the board, but it's not... I think that the general consensus, the average is around 6, 7. So not the greatest, not the worst. Some people are ranking it 1, some people are ranking it 9, so kind of skews things a bit. But overall, I think it's pretty much middle of the road as far as enjoyment goes. 47 out of 100. Trekyards, can we take bets on Samuel's rankings? We should. Let's see. Samuel, he'll give it. He'll probably absolutely love it. He'll think this was the best episode ever of the whole season. And I'll be like, what? He'll surprise me, or he won't. I think he's going to agree with me. Middle of the road, give it a 4 or 5. That's my bet. But that being said, because I said that and because I think that, he's going to be like, oh, this was fucking fantastic. This was a 9.5. And I'll be like, what? Are you smoking? Are you smoking the snake leaf? Stop it. Get off of it. Travis says he'll either be a 2 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, hard to tell. Yeah, pretty much. Samuel most likely picked up things we all missed. No, I got a lot more notes downstairs for the full review. I don't think he'll pick up anything that we missed, per se. But, yeah. You're overthinking it, Cap. Hello. Governor gives 3.3 out of 5. Got a lot going to make dinner. Have a good night. See you later, Ryan. I myself am calling it quits. We have 274 people here. We are up to 303 likes and just at the 92-minute mark. So this has been fantastic, guys. You guys have been great. Thank you for joining me again. Hope you guys are enjoying these first reaction reviews and just kind of hanging out with me in general. These have been fun for me, so hopefully they're also fun for you. And I look forward to doing them every week until Picard is done. And then once Discovery starts, it'll happen with Discovery. And then once Lower Decks starts, it'll happen with Lower Decks. Then once Orville starts, it'll happen with Orville. And then once Star Trek Prodigy happens, it'll happen with Star Trek Prodigy. So it'll be a never-ending cycle of you seeing me. And then the day or two later, seeing me and Samuel. So, like your shirt, by the way, Captain. Thank you, Zachary. This is one of the best episodes of Star Trek Discovery. Yes. Thank you for the great live. Thank you, Jeff, for the compliment. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $1.99. Cheers, Cap. Good night. Live long and prosper. Well, thank you very much, Fleetpaw. Good night to you as well. I think I'm going to go downstairs and watch me some Hell on Wheels. I think I'm just starting season 4. I don't know where I'm at exactly. But, yeah, or just watch some YouTube videos. I don't know. But I'm going to go take a break and got to get up early tomorrow to do some filming. And then get stuff edited and out for you guys. And then don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our live, where we talk about this episode, break it down scene by scene, both me and Samuel. And we always come up with great discussion points and have a good discussion with you guys. So if you can make it, please join. And look forward to seeing you there. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley. Have yourselves a good night. Sweet Prince, Trekyards fans.